Oh, you started? All right.
Yep.
We're live. Hello. Hello, everyone. This is Bush Cassidy and the Suntan Kids, the outlaws of today.
Yep.
The liberal Omar toward the center and the progressive leftist Free in the house.
Yeah.
How are you, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. How are you, Free?
I've been working, Omar. I mean, I'm taking it day by day, keeping a steady pace. I mean, it's not bad for me. Like my situation is getting better, but day by day.
What do you mean work? Like a job or school?
Yeah. Job, school. I try to maintain a consistent balance.
What do you do if you don't mind me asking? I mean, it was okay.
I'm a pharmacy technician. I mean, it's kind of fucking boring, but pays decent for an entry level job.
So you're gonna major in biology and what do you want?
Pharmacology, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I'm glad. I'm proud of you. Yeah. So how's everything? How's the family? How's the life? What did you do this week? Anything interesting?
Yeah, I've just been working pretty much the whole time. This week isn't, really a holiday week.
Yeah.
But, I've been keeping up with the news,
Well, there's a lot of news, a lot of crazy shit happening, and a lot of show. But let me just put it in. I'm glad. I feel completely 100% healthy now. My lungs are okay. I'm going to go test it on the 16th, but thank God. Free. I almost died.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, I got up and I couldn't breathe at all, and it's so scary to not to have any air in your lungs, man. Anyway, enough about me. So just still doing the thing. So what's going on? What do you want to start there for you?
So it seems more and more. Well, okay, I'm actually going to talk about what's happened in Turkey and Syria first.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. So. This is, real doomer material. Hold on, I'm going to bring it up here.
All right.
So, survivors still being found as quake death toll tops 28,000. I mean,
wow.
I don't want to show you the other pictures in this because, it's really graphic. Will probably get us, blacklisted, even more than we already are. Latakia, I think that's how you pronounce it, Syria.
Yeah, Latakia.
Ibrahim Zakaria lost track of time, drifting into and out of consciousness while trapped for nearly 5 days in the rubble of his home following the massive earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria this week because, you can't breathe in earthquake rubble. The 23-year-old cell phone shop worker from the Syrian town of Jableh survived on dirty drips of water, Jesus Christ, and eventually lost hope that he'd be saved. Just a couple more paragraphs here. I said, I am dead and it will be impossible for me to live again. Zachariah, who was rescued Friday night, told the Associated Press on Saturday from his bed at a hospital in the coastal city of Latakia, where his 60-year-old mother, Duha Nurala, was also recovering. 5 days after two powerful earthquakes, hours apart, caused thousands of buildings to collapse, killing more than 28,000 people and leaving millions homeless. Rescuers were still pulling unlucky survivors from the ruins. One of them just 7 months old. So this, man,
unbelievable. What happened is a human tragedy, above a human tragedy. That area in Syria has been under war and embargo for the last 12 years. And it's like adding misery to misery. You understand?
Yeah.
So I feel sorry what's going on over there. They're not getting any help. At least the Turkish people have a government to help them. They don't have anybody to help them. And they have an issue with the courier, how to get into that area. They only have one road that the Russians agreed to like 3 years ago when they were playing geopolitics bullshit in Syria. So the situation, it is dire. A lot of buildings collapsed. More than 5,000 buildings collapsed inside Turkey itself. And this happened in 1999. About almost 20,000 people died in Turkey, and this time it happened again. I heard it's called a fault line. It's like the one we have in California. Or something.
I think that's where tectonic plates meet with each other. So they're constantly shifting all the time, which is why California has so many earthquakes. So you literally feel like the world, gyrating, as they just scrape upon, one another and kind of move here and there.
Have you ever felt a movement building or anything like that?
I've lived in Florida all my life, so I'm well within a tectonic plate. I'm nowhere near a fault line. So
Right.
now, to compensate with that, obviously we have one, Republican politicians, and two, which comes with them, hurricanes spurred on by climate change. So we've got our fair share of natural disasters.
But I want to ask you a question. Why in the United States that a hurricane will come and destroy the whole town because the houses are made out of wood, and then people will come back and build the house again out of wood? I mean, don't they have concrete and steel? Why? What's up?
It's just a cheap material to build with, because stainless steel and concrete are slightly more expensive than just classic wood. So it's more of an infrastructural problem, I think. I mean, obviously these really local governments in rural America, red governments, just won't provide, public housing, decent infrastructure for their people, subsidies to actually build sustainable houses that'll last, that are very durable.
Yeah.
They don't care about you. They don't care about our material circumstances and, how our day-to-day lives affect us. But,
Remember when we grew up, the three piggies that help them puff with the pigs, the house of straw, the house of this, and then he went to the house of. It's amazing to me because my native country, where I come from, it's a poor country, but all the houses are built in the cities. They have like a stainless steel rods, and they use concrete.
Yeah,
they use rocks, and in the village they use rocks from the mountain, so the houses are made strong. And here, I mean, if I was the insurance companies, if I'm losing every 10 years all this money, why would I force people to build better houses and give them an incentive to use concrete and bricks, those artificial bricks? It will go a long way to save them money, time, and lives instead of getting this devastation every year. Let's go back to the hurricane. But it is crazy here in the United States. It's like, it don't make no sense. I mean, you should learn your lesson after a while, right or wrong?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Turkish government, it's not really there to help the people. I mean, obviously, their ruling class with, Erdogan, I really just think they care about themselves, which is why, charities, these humanitarian relief funds, have to swoop in,
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
It's a real tragedy. So I don't even think the government will be able to handle such. Remember when that building fell in Florida? Teams came from Mexico and Israel to help out, and it's one building, the condo that fell in Florida.
Yeah, so, it had really shoddy construction and deregulation.
Yeah. If you live on a fault line, you should have some sort of like. They have these houses where they build them and are able to withstand any movement of earthquake. You understand? Lessons the tragedy. I hope when they rebuild, they put that into place inside. If you're living on a fault line, you should be able to force building codes that are able to withstand the earthquake. Not 100%. At least it will save a lot of lives in the long run. Because I think in 1999, I don't even know if it's the same area, but I know it's in Turkey. About 18,000 19,000 people died, the same thing. Now, I know you mentioned Erdogan, but if you know the history of Turkey, before that, it was a military, the real rulers of that country.
Yeah.
Every 10 years, 20 years, they will come, we got to save secularism, and they will fucking overthrow the government, put everybody in jail, and kill as many people as they want. Erdogan is a little crazy, his fault, but he has built, in the last 20 years, Turkey has jumped a milestone from where a country with a cup of coffee costs 500,000 lira. You haven't been to Turkey? My brothers just came back. It's beautiful. They built the biggest airport, the biggest things. The only thing about Erdogan, I don't like, he's a bit too religious.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about him. I think religion should be far away from government because it doesn't end well when religion gets involved in government. Yeah, but right now, they're going to have an election in 4 months. I don't know how this is going to affect the election a lot because a lot of people are upset at the response from the government.
Yeah.
And it is a shame. A lot of people died, and children, women. And let's hope, we pray. We pray for the people who died and those
Of
who are in the
course.
hospital. We still are a brotherhood of man.
Yeah.
Like John Lennon. Was it John Lennon said that? A brotherhood of man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And his government response, Erdogan specifically, has been, vehemently criticized. I think it might affect the election. Let's get into a few of those points right now. Here's an article from
Well,
NPR.
he was in trouble already because inflation is like 60-70% in 1 year.
Yeah.
And he
And like,
refuses to raise the interest rate for the borrowing. When inflation goes up, we raise the interest rate for the central bank. He won't do it. He's doing the opposite. He's going low. He's lowering the interest instead of making high to control inflation. Because
yeah. I mean,
usually is a sin to him. Go ahead.
yeah, because he apparently I've read some articles. Apparently he's ignoring his longtime trusted advisors and just doing what he wants, and it's not working out well for Turkey. So Istanbul. From MTR, rescuers continue to search for bodies from underneath thousands of toppled buildings in southern Turkey, and more than 380,000 people in this region have been left homeless. That's going to create some sort of refugee crisis along the line. This government was just not prepared, says Soli Özel, lecturer at Kadir Has University in Istanbul. As of Thursday, fatalities from the earthquake in Turkey and Syria have surpassed 20,000, according to the Associated Press. As Turkey's death toll rises, now more than 17,000, so does criticism of the government of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and what many see as its lack of preparation and sluggish response to the tragedy. Even Erdogan himself has admitted the first day we had some discomforts before insisting to survivors near the quake epicenter. Second day and then today, the situation got under control. No, that's just not the case, man.
What did you say that Turkey collected what? They had earthquake taxes. See, since they had 20 years ago, they had 21 years ago, they had an earthquake. So it said Turkey collected earthquake taxes for over 20 years. So they had the money, I guess.
Yeah.
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 But I have to respond to something like that. It's like a bomb. I mean, the way that you see how that city was devastated. I mean, it's like being punched in the gut or in the face, without really knowing. Then it takes you a while to react to the punch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever been punched? I've been punched in the face, and I don't know. I know I got knocked the hell out over a girl. I got knocked out, and you're busy. He wasn't expecting that punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is a shame.
I'm going to read a bit more, just a few more paragraphs. After a catastrophic earthquake in northwestern Turkey killed more than 18,000 people in 1999, authorities imposed an earthquake tax meant to corral billions of dollars worth of disaster prevention and relief.
Yeah.
They greased their cronies' palms with earthquake taxes, says political opposition leader Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. Sorry, I haven't studied Turkish, so I'm obviously going to butcher these names.
Yeah.
Where's that money? It's gone.
Definitely.
Ozil says it's not just a near total incompetence, unpreparedness on the part of the government in responding to this week's earthquake. To make matters worse, if that were even possible, he says, the government is also making it almost impossible for organizations, civil society, citizens themselves, and mayors and municipalities to actually help. Erdogan's centralization of Turkey's government has meant a plethora of restrictions on how individual cities and aid organizations can operate in the country, hampering overall rescue efforts. So I guess, this lack of democratization, the bureaucracy, the lack of, federalization and actually giving people a say, I mean, it's not working out for him. And he's just appropriating the funds. Well, not stealing the funds, but, imposing taxes and just putting them, where he wants. With an election expected by June, Özil says Erdogan has already been weakened out of control inflation in Turkey.
Yeah.
To control inflation, the last thing you do is raise the interest rates. I mean,
No, you lower the interest rates.
Well, yeah. So sorry, I got the terminology. Yeah, Omar, you're right. Yeah, the last thing you do is lower the interest rates because that's what you do in a recession. You need to, bolster spending. You need to get things going. So I would expect the government to actually be one of the victims under the rubble of this earthquake. Ozell predicts.
Well, they've been in power 20 years. People are tired of them. They did a lot, but after a while, you accumulate a lot of you accumulate a lot of bad stuff, and eventually you collapse under that weight of corruption, whatever, or mishandling. Like, for example, he could have prevented the inflation. He should have raised the what do you call it?
Interest rates. Yeah.
At least to control a little bit. Because people are losing their saving. Imagine it went up to 84%. I mean, if you had $1,000 or lira in the beginning of the year, it's only worth about 160 lira in value. 84% inflation. I mean, 84% of that dollar, of that lira, it's called lira in their money. You only have 16 cents left. That is still, you know what I'm saying? So when you say, like here in the United States, what's going on, right? Let's say you have money saved, and we keep on printing money. Our money loses its value every year. Like, for example, our inflation is 8.5%. That means the dollar is worth 8% less than it was in the beginning of the year. If you had 100,000, that means you lost 8,000 in value of your money that just evaporated under your bed where you keep the money in a box. That's why it's good to invest. I bought me some stock, some Tesla. I made a little money, but I lost a lot of money. I told you, remember?
Yeah. You lost a lot.
Oh, I lost a lot, man.
Shit, man.
Yeah. Anyway, let's forget about me. So what else we got there?
So past the earthquake in Turkey and Syria, I want to bring up this video. So recently, more and more of these Chinese spy balloons, keep on coming up. This one hasn't been positively identified as, being from Beijing and, being a meteorological balloon. It is an unidentified flying object. They think, it's probably a balloon. So
aircraft of some sort, airship, balloon, something was shot down today. Who owns it? What were the circumstances? Was the president directly involved in ordering?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear.
And is wreckage being recovered?
Okay, so I'm going to try. Remind me if I forget something. Yes, the president absolutely was involved in this decision. He ordered it.
And they were constantly saying, Beijing Biden.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this short I made yesterday, but
no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Candace Owens said,
Trump would have shot that Chinese spy balloon down instantly.
But, I also brought up a White House article post saying, well, okay, the previous administration, the Trump administration, detected 3 foreign spy balloons but didn't shoot them down.
Trump was busy fighting the culture war about wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, getting people killed. Biden destroyed him with the speech at the State of the Union. He had a nice speech. He destroyed him. They started yelling and screaming. He made them like idiots, yelling, lie. Fucking idiot. She's wearing that mink coat, that piece of shit. What's her name? Marjorie?
Yeah, Marjorie Trader Green.
Yeah. The pimps. Well, that's my girl, man. The pimp. That piece of shit. But, Biden is a good president. I mean, at least things are calmed down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got stability.
We don't have that national heat. Oh, there's going to be a civil war. Fucking what's that name? Dave Rubin and Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool. They were predicting a civil war. I said, what the fuck are these guys? What they're gonna do with the civil? What they're gonna do? They're gonna run. Ben Shapiro gonna get a plane straight to Israel. Tim Pool thinks he's in a fucking compound, and he has a well water. All you have to do is get a dog, kill 2 dogs, and throw them at the well, and he can't drink that water no more. And he'll come out like a piece of shit.
Because I mean, they're total chicken hawks, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. There's this one conservative blog Ben Shapiro used to write for, and he constantly, posted articles, defending the Iraq War and I could bring this up sometime if you want. They're like
Breitbart, right?
enemy. Nah, it's under another name. Enemy civilian casualties fined by me. Casualties.
Because the
by
whole
me.
Iraqi war was for Israel, for the national security of Israel. Just go to the Jewish newspaper called Haaretz. It says the white man's problem, how 23 out of 25 Jews made the Iraqi war. The whole thing was done to defend Israel. It had nothing to do with the United States national security.
Yeah.
All we did was they stole money with Harvard and all that stuff, got these kids killed. 6,000 kids killed themselves a year. They came from the war. Since 2001, 120,000 veterans have killed themselves. They're still in the war. You got these.
It was still in Iraq.
They're still unnecessary, man. These kids. You know how many they killed themselves? 17. Biden said it. 17. It was 23. Now 17 a day. They kill themselves every day. Every day, 17 veterans commit suicide. That is a fucking crazy number to have.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah. Let me just bring up this one temporarily.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been trying to find it on Town Hall's website.
Yeah.
But they probably deleted it because it was just that bad.
I see it's right there. Ben Shavaria says it's okay with civilian. Well, he's okay because they're Arabs.
Yeah, but he's a racist piece of garbage. Okay.
And he hates black
in a video
people.
game.
You know that, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He hates it. I know. Every time he gets a chance, he rips right into them for a piece of shit like him. But God forbid somebody spit on some people. They're eating sushi in California. Oh, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Look at them. They're spitting out Jewish Chinese while they're eating dinner. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dying. All right.
All right.
These people are. And what is this about if you say they have money? It's not a trope. I mean, is it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
it's...
I mean, black rappers, they rap all day. We got money, we're rich, we got cars, we got... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to be called rich. Yeah, let's see what these guys got about this fucking... People say this is UFO.
Gun leaders. He wanted it taken down, and they did that. They did it using fighter aircraft assigned to U.S. Northern Command. The Pentagon will have more to say about the details.
All these pundits were lying about Biden.
Of this later on this afternoon. It's only just within the last hour. We're calling this an object because that's the best description we have right now.
Yeah.
We do not know who owns it, whether it's state-owned or corporate-owned.
Not aliens.
Privately owned. We just don't know.
Shit.
We don't know. So I said state-owned.
What do they want from us?
State-owned.
Yeah, you started to shoot. You should
understand the full purpose.
Shoot a whole continent.
We don't have any information that would confirm a stated purpose for this object. We do expect to be able to recover the debris since it fell not only within territorial space, but on what we believe is frozen water. So a recovery effort will be made, and we're hopeful that it'll be successful, and then we can learn a little bit more about it.
Was its appearance like the Chinese aircraft?
No, it was much smaller than the spy balloon that we took down last Saturday. The way it was described to me was roughly the size of a small car, as opposed to a payload that was like 2 or 3 buses size, right? So much smaller, and not of the same, no significant payload, if you will.
And lastly, is it now the policy of the United States that if unidentified aircraft are over U.S. territory, that it is likely the president will choose to shoot it down?
The president will always act in the best interest of our national security and in the safety and security of the American people.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's an affirmation that he's gonna shoot down pretty much any unidentified aircraft that encroach on U.S. territory. So a few fun facts for y'all: 3 Chinese balloons flew over U.S. during Trump presidency from Bloomberg here. Trump wasn't offered a chance to shoot them down at the time. Intelligence officials will offer ex-Trump aides briefing. Okay, so just a few paragraphs. Chinese surveillance balloons flew over the continental United States at least 3 times during the Trump years, according to a senior administration official, but key details about the incursions weren't widely known until after Joe Biden took office. Because he covered it up. He's dishonest. He doesn't want his conservative base thinking he's cucking to China secretly, so he withheld that information and then only released it until he was out of office. So former President Donald Trump and some senior officials who worked for him have denied knowing that Chinese airships entered U.S. airspace on their watch, meaning it was concealed. It was hidden, even from officials inside the Trump administration. So while some members of the Trump administration eventually realized that the unidentified objects were Chinese spy vessels, those intelligence conclusions often took weeks, particularly because the balloons included jamming systems to hide their true intent, Trump era officials said. The former president was never presented an opportunity to shoot balloons down. Intelligence officials from the Biden administration are willing to provide former Trump national security officials with a briefing about the Chinese surveillance efforts. According to the current administration, an official who discussed intelligence matters on a condition of anonymity, just got a couple more paragraphs here. In an interview Sunday with Fox News, Trump accused his successor of claiming Chinese overflights took place during his tenure because they look so bad. This never happened, he said. It would have never happened. So, what did these right-wing MAGA chuds have to say for themselves upon discovering the fact that 3 balloons, not 1, not 2, but 3 balloons, flew over U.S. airspace and were not shot down by the president?
You know Noam Chomsky, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Noam Chomsky?
Chomsky, yeah.
In 2012, he was asked, what's the most dangerous? Are the Chinese or Russian dangerous to the United States? He said, you're looking at the wrong place. The most dangerous thing right now is the Republican Party, because it's no longer a political party, but an insurgent. What do you call it? It's more of an insurgent party. Instead of, those things disappeared. I don't know what happened. Remember we had those all those overlays? I don't know what happened. They just disappeared.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, this is.
Let me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are dealing with what we dealing here with it's so fucking strange. We doing with a political party, an entity that no longer functions as a parliamentary institution. Instead of having an agenda or policies or ideas or things, it has become an obstructionist. What can we do just to look like fools to get the attention of Fox News in the evening, or what are we gonna do? This is what has become of the Republican Party. It is no longer open to everybody. It's a private club that's getting smaller and smaller every day, and eventually it's going to implode. They're one policy away from imploding. Maybe it's going to be the Social Security policy, or whatever it is, or something else, because the Republican Party no longer functions as part of the framework of our political party as a democracy in the United States. It is what they're doing right now. If you notice, with all this, what they call the weaponization of the federal government, they are trying to destroy the institution that stand in their way for them to fuck shit up. What stands in the way of this chaos? The FBI. The FBI stands in the way of them becoming crazy and doing the things they do. What they do, they're slowly discrediting the FBI, discrediting the federal government, weakening all the institutions. Even we used to hate these institutions, but we have to hold on to them at this moment, because what they are deliberately doing is to weaken and create this atmosphere that the FBI is corrupt. They hate conservative people, whatever.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, even now with all these fucking, you saw those hearings they had, man? It's so fucking embarrassing. They're complaining that they get on Twitter.
Well, I was actually going to cover that.
Yeah. It's silly, man. What we do right now, let's hope. What I used to worry about is I don't want to get the what do you call it the third branch. What is that? The jury. How do you say? How do you pronounce it? The judicial branch, right? The
Judicial, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to get it all stained and become part of the mayhem going on with the legislative branch. I mean, you know, with Congress, the way they are now infighting and lost all their credibility. But right now, what they're doing is they're already mixing that shit up with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court no longer had that mystique. Remember that mystique they had with the rogues? You don't know what they're saying. You had these people, you know, whatever they say, that's it. It goes. As soon as you see that fucking idiot, what's his name? Clarence Thomas, his wife is running circles around him. That Alito, whatever the fucking name, looks like a fucking plumber. He's talking like he's a right-wing piece of shit when he goes to make these speeches. They lost all their credibility. Once you lose all these institutions, it's game over for the country. I want to just put it that way.
Yeah. And speaking of, you know, the right-wingers complaining, they weren't, you know, allowed on Twitter, or they were banned or whatever before Elon Musk took it over. That was a segment I'm actually getting to now. It was after we covered UFO. So, excuse me. Let me bring this window up. All right.
It's your turn. You want to go? Okay. We won't start the clock till you get there.
So dismantle the witness.
Your generosity. I just want to start off right here at the top here. This isn't even my line of questioning, but I'd like to submit to the record a Washington Post article now warning about Hunter Biden laptop disinformation, the guy who leaked it. Here's the deal. Before I even get into my questions, I think that the story here with the Washington Post reporting is that what they're saying right here, when the New York Post first reported in October 2020.
What, the volume or?
No, the picture. So we don't have to see the side stuff. No, full screen, I mean.
Okay.
That it had obtained contents of a laptop computer allegedly owned by Joe Biden's son Hunter. There was an immediate roadblock faced by other news outlets that hoped to corroborate reporting, as many did. The newspaper wasn't sharing what it obtained. New York Post had this alleged information and was trying to publish it without any corroboration.
New York Post, one of the most deceitful, tabloid, quote unquote, you know,
piece of shit.
Journalistic sources ever. You know, there's a reason I only, you know, trust. Well, I pretty much only trust the AP to, you know, break headlines because you know these right wing sources, they just lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie.
Without any backup information, they were trying to publish it to Twitter. Twitter did not let them, and now they were upset. I believe that political operatives who sought to inject explosive disinformation with the Washington Post couldn't get away with it. And now they're livid, and they want the ability to do it again. They want the ability to inject this again.
Well, so they're constantly talking about what's on Hunter Biden's laptop. We need to see his laptop. And, you know, the original guy who actually had the laptop, allegedly belonging to Hunter Biden, you know, found absolutely nothing nefarious contained on it. And they're constantly obsessing over him smoking crack and his nudes. It's like, the fuck are you on, man? Like, get the fuck out of here with your, like, you know, penis picture politics. I don't, bro, like, can I get healthcare or some shit? I'm not interested in that, man.
You see,
like,
AOC, she made a lot of sense. She said they were trying to do like a gotcha, you know, October surprise.
Yeah.
By you know, even if there was nothing on the computer, just to make it look like there was something, and push the election toward Trump. But the mainstream media got the catch of it. They don't want to be involved or become part of that fucking bullshit they were going to run on the election. So they just blocked it. Now they have that hurt feeling. Oh, you know, it should have happened. Okay, what's in the fucking computer? Can you tell us, beside the dick pictures of this fucking crackhead? Oh, you said, oh, you don't forget the big guy. What big? Okay, what's the big guy? Is there something against the law? Could you tell us that we could charge Biden with? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, but they have this, it's just silly. They have these. She fucking destroyed him. Even with the other stuff, she destroyed them.
Absolutely.
Dragged a social media platform here in Congress. They're weaponizing the use of this committee so that they can do it again. A whole hearing about a 24-hour hiccup in a right-wing political operation. That is why we are here right now. And it's just an abuse of public resources, an abuse of public time. We could be talking about healthcare. We could be talking about bringing down the cost of prescription drugs. We could be talking about abortion rights, civil
speaking
rights,
the devil,
voting rights. But instead, we're talking about Hunter Biden's half-fake laptop story. I mean, this is an embarrassment. But I'll go into it. Ms. Navarrete, let's talk about something real. I'd like to show you a tweet posted by former President Trump about my colleagues and I on July 14, 2019. It says in part, quote, "Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? Then come back and show us how it's done. These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi would be very happy."
Don't you obstruct it? Don't you vote against, health care, reparations, subsidies for jobs, extended child tax credit? Don't you vote against that, Mr. Populist? Even though, you ended the individual mandate and, cut taxes, most of the benefits long-term went to the rich,
as quickly to work out free travel arrangements. A day or two after that, Donald Trump publicly incited, violence at a rally, targeting 4 congresswomen, including myself, saying, "Go back to where you came from." Ms. Navarrete, as I understand it, you were the most senior member of Twitter's content moderation team, or a senior member of Twitter's content moderation team when this was posted. As part of your responsibilities, did you review this tweet?
Yes, it was my team's responsibility to review these tweets.
And what did you conclude?
My team made the recommendation that for the first time, we find Donald Trump in violation of Twitter's policies and use the public interest interstitial.
For the first time?
Yes.
And at the time, Twitter's policy included a specific example when it came to banned abuse against immigrants, as they specifically included the phrase, "Go back to your country," or go back to where you came from, correct?
Yes, that was specifically included in the content moderation guidance as an example.
You brought this up to the Vice President of Trust and Safety, Del Harvey, correct?
I did, yes.
And she overrode your assessment, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And something interesting happened after she overrode your assessment. A day or two later, Twitter seemed to have changed their policies, didn't they?
Yes, that trope, "go back to where you came from," was removed from the content moderation guidance as an example.
So Twitter changed their own policy after the president violated it in order to potentially accommodate his tweet?
Yes.
Oh. This just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Thank you. So much for bias against right wing on Twitter. Additionally, Ms. Navarrete, are you familiar with the account Libs of TikTok?
I have heard of it from...
Listen to this.
Mr. Roth, are you familiar with this account?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you aware that from August 11th to August 16th, that account posted false information about Boston Children's Hospital, claiming that they were providing hysterectomies to children?
Yes, I am aware of that and other claims from the account.
And are you aware that this lie was then circulated by other prominent far-right influencers?
Yes.
And are you aware that all these claims, which I have reiterated, were false, culminated in a real-life harassment and ultimately a bomb threat to the Boston Children's Hospital?
Yes, I am aware.
And this account is still on that platform today, isn't it?
Regrettably, yes, it is.
Despite inspiring a bomb threat due to the
he's even like, he's even saying, like, the people at Twitter are saying, fuck that account. Yeah, I don't really like her too. Between you and me, Congresswoman, I kind of wish she was off the platform too. Maybe I should make a rule, since, hey, you're already amending rules retroactively, when people violate them just to accommodate them. So how about you make a rule? Actually, even though she's already violated the rules multiple times, how about you make a rule, specifically Libs of TikTok not allowed on the platform? Then, retroactively ban her, like how you're retroactively allowing things Donald Trump says, just to accommodate, people on the platform. I mean, come on.
Against trans Americans in this country, because they cannot let go of this obsession with fixating violence and inciting violence against trans and LGBT people, in addition to immigrants, in addition to women of color. This is the party that cannot pick on anyone their own size. And they are trying to co-opt an entire social media platform and use the power of this committee and of Congress in order to pursue a political agenda. I yield back.
Yeah, just tell it like it is.
Save the children, also bomb them, according to higher rights. Yeah, like these people, protect children, save the children, they're doing a grooming event, then, that guy in Colorado, shoots them up. Are you really saving the children by shooting them?
He's a gate, they're killing our children. the cabal of Democrats, they're eating the children and they're selling them and trafficking them to Mexico and Guatemala. You know how they do. We see that. Talking country right now.
Yeah, the cowboy hat really sells it.
I got it. Do I look good with it, or am I crazy?
Oh, yeah. You look fantastic, Tex.
Yeah. Let me join my brothers and sisters down south there. I want to be their representative.
Yep.
I'm going to be the counterweight to Free. Free is a northerner living in the deep south. He's an enemy within us. He's in the heart of our country.
Yeah. I'm a Union
Keep
spy.
an eye on him. Keep an eye on this Free boy. You know, he's a liberal from the north, living in the south.
Yep.
I felt so good. You know,
That's
I said, fuck it, I want to look, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I was going to do a segment every week. I was going to call him Country Bob. I did one segment that I said, let me put this on today. Since I'm the Cat City kid. What was it, the Cat City? What's that his name?
Butch Cassidy.
Butch Cassidy, and you're the Sundance Kid, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we really are outlaws, you know, knowing how YouTube has blacklisted our content.
I'm going to tell you something. I used to have that small channel, my original channel.
Yeah.
When I first started, I used to have a lot of people, you know, like 300, 200, you know, they're all young though. And all of a sudden, I'm going to be honest with you, I did a segment on Israel, remember the violence in Gaza?
Yeah.
They all disappeared. I couldn't even get one fucking guy to comment anymore. It's just like they were gone.
Yeah. You know, they de-rank you. So, okay, some of my viewers on my channel will recognize one of two things. That I'm constantly censoring out literally everything that could maybe be extrapolated as a controversial issue. And in my titles, the text looks sort of off from the typical YouTube font.
I'm going to tell you what I have issue with your channel, because you have a generic name, like Free. Everybody has that name.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. I can't find your, go directly to you. The only way I watch yours is when I get the notification on the bell. You know, it'll come on, and then I go straight to your channel. You should add something to Free this or Free that.
Yeah. Free.
Add a second name or something.
Free, you know, hyphen left unity or something like that.
Yeah. You have to do something because everybody has that name. There you go.
All right.
It's a Joker.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the reason why I, you know, censor out everything, I mean, I'm sorry, you know, because we're not getting the sponsorships. You know, the algorithm doesn't like us. You know, we have, you know, no big leftist backers. So, you know, I got to play into the hand of the ad revenue. So I don't even give them the capacity to demonetize me. I censor out everything that could be like, you know, a controversial issue or a cuss word. Or, you know, and, you know, I replace the font in my titles. I convert the text to Unicode, so it looks like, you know, normal YouTube letters, but it just flies over the YouTube content moderation, because, you know, they only detect controversial titles in their own, you know, font. So I use a different font. So, you know, that's that. You know,
how's your channel doing? Is it growing? Or?
Yeah, it's growing. I gained a few subscribers. This one video on Kevin McCarthy and Ilhan Omar got like, you know, 826 views, and I'm like,
good.
You know, Jesus Christ.
That's a good hiccup. That means people discovered your channel.
Yeah.
Now, all you need now is just add the name so people come back to that channel if they didn't do the what do you call it, the subscribe and bell notification.
Yeah. I'll have to get subscribers.
Because I know you're very smart, and I,
no, thank you.
Honestly, you know, and I want you to do good.
Yeah. All right, let me close this up.
Talked about the devil today.
So, actually, I should introduce this. Because this is the real content of today's stream. Candace Owens here. I feel as if conservatives are trying to revive a sort of satanic panic. I mean, since the 80s, you know, what we call the satanic panic and just general moral outrage at stuff really never ended, you know, because it was constantly replaced by something, be it the Illuminati, Pizzagate, the cabal of pedos, and now it's, you know, well, the postmodern neo-Marxists, the cultural Marxists, whatever. Now it's, you know, Hollywood elites, in this instance, and they're trying to bring that back. Now, Omar, I mean, I know you believe in stuff like the Dajjal and the jinn and stuff like that, but what they're talking about, the jinn, you know, isn't that like the Islamic devil?
Yeah. No, well, the jinn are the devil is a devil, but the jinn are a form of a people that are made out of fire. We cannot see them. They have good ones and they have bad ones. I mean, according to Islam. So they were made out of fire and they live within our environment. But they have good and they have bad. But the devil is a different entity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if you actually read up on Islamic theology, what they're describing just has absolutely nothing to do with the original concept of, you know, Satan and the devil, which was supposed to be temptation and, you know, all the vices that really destroy you when you lose all self-control. I mean, you know, because to an extent, I think that's true. I mean, you've got to maintain self-control. You can't, you know, smoke Cuba all day and expect your lungs to not be like tarry and soupy. You can't, you know, drink all day and not expect your liver to, you know, swell up like a hand grenade. And, you know, I struggle with this from time to time. You know, I really like playing video games. And, you know, one time or another, I find myself, you know, haven't been played for, you know, 3 hours on end. And almost the entire day is gone. So
it's not like 16 hours. But you're okay. People say, you know, Bobby Lee, that comedian, he spends like 16 hours a day playing video game.
I can't fathom that, man. I
don't, you know, I don't have the patience to play like at my age, because only my other hand don't work, you know, only my left hand works that good, so I can't really control. So I'm good. I'm safe from all this from your problem, guys. You understand?
Yeah.
My bad life is I like to watch true crime shows. I mean, I watch all of them. I know everything. I mean, just 24 hours a day. And I invest a lot of time in that shit, especially the police.
I really like true crime, you know, creepy shit, because it scares me more than, you know, supernatural entities you see in like horror movies. You know, this is stuff that actually happens. This kind of evil does exist in the world. People like the Zodiac Killer, you know, Jack the Ripper, you know, the Atlanta Ripper. You know, he used to, you know, slit throats.
Regular people, they get up in the middle of the night. They had one kid, 14 years old. He's upset at his brother. He takes a baseball bat and cracks him in the head and kills him and goes back to sleep. I mean, when you watch this stuff, it's crazy stuff. Why did you mention the jinn and all that stuff? I mean, are you?
But because the original Islamic ideas of temptation are just such a far cry from this crap. And what they use, you know, the devil and Satan to mean is just liberalism and, you know, Hollywood representing, you know, queer stuff and, you know, black people.
The issue I have, I don't want to get into religion. The issue I have with Christianity is that the original sin, a baby is born a sinner. That doesn't make no sense that a baby is born. In Islam, any baby, Christian, Jews, he goes to heaven until he reaches the age of puberty. He's considered pure. While in Christianity, you're born with the original sin. You're already a sinner. You know, you're already carrying the weight of the they call it what they call the original sin. Or whatever it's called. And if the baby died, you should say in puberty. They had this word for it where they stay between the heavens and it was bullshit.
Purgatory. Yeah, Catholics had that until they just scrapped it and said, "Hey, if you don't, you know, align with all our beliefs, you're going straight to hell." So
Islam, you know, the religion is all. You know, people have kidnapped this message like these fucking terrorist son of a bitches.
Yeah,
but it's mostly, if you read the Quran, there's only one time the word kill. Only one. But if you read the Bible, fucking Genesis, the first thing, kill all women and children, even the fucking donkeys and the oxes and the children. Don't let anything breathe. So there's a lot of violence, but I'm not religious like the way, you know, I pray 5 times a day. I'm going to be honest with you. I do pray. And because, as a good example, for my children, they see me pray, they pray too. And I want to lead them that example. But I'm not a religious zealot. I'm not going to judge anybody, or if I meet in the street. I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, you do you. I mean, I have respect. Where I live here, you know, I got a lot of different neighbors from all different kind, and we're very friendly with each other. And our kids play. I put that hat on. But I really live in the suburbs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a nice house in the suburbs. I used to be in Brooklyn, and I put that act like in the ghetto. But I live, it's nice. It's a beautiful neighborhood area, and everybody lives, nice life, American life. It's good instead of all this BS. What this idiot has to say? This fucking filter for the races.
Yeah.
Look at that yellow jacket.
Yeah. I wonder what's up with the whole Dick Tracy look today.
What the fuck? She dresses like
You dress like the Hollywood elites, Candace. This is something a Hollywood intern would wear. Anyway, she's mad at Sam Smith.
I have no respect for her.
No, none at all.
Not whatsoever. Even maybe Ben Shapiro, because he has an agenda. She has no agenda. At least Ben Shapiro defends the Zionists.
Sam Smith, that's what he dressed up as.
Yeah.
We watched the Grammys last night. Now, just because I didn't watch the Grammys last night, I did not watch any of the shows at all. I gave them all up because they made me angry. And when I was a kid, I used to watch.
You didn't watch the Grammys, but you still picked out this specific clip of Sam Smith doing their act because
I tweeted. I say that right now the right wingers are looking for contact for tomorrow because that's what they do. They're not looking. I watched the Grammys. I haven't watched it in a year, and I was entertained. Especially me, I grew up in the age of hip hop, and I saw all these hip hop artists, KR, and they had this 15 minutes of all the old rappers, and I felt so good. I was jamming with them. You understand? Because I grew up the hip hop. Let's see what she has to do. She probably complained about the satanic thing, right, with that guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just I wasn't angry, and then something happened, and they became just so overtly political, and it's just anger-inducing. So I abstained from making myself angry on Saturday. But if you did watch it, you were treated to a performance of the devil. Sam Smith dressed
The devil.
as the devil, giving a satanic performance of his.
You sound like a
She's so
Valley
fucking
person.
ugly. I don't know. She's I'm gonna say I don't want to disrespect her. She's unfuckable. Okay, sorry. I don't care. And I went out with a lot of minority girlfriends. I grew up in the city in Brooklyn. I had black girlfriends, Hispanics. I did all nationalities, and they were beautiful. This is
Every color of pussy.
Yeah, I had. As a matter of fact, I had like 4 or 5 girlfriends that were black, especially in college, and all that stuff. And I had Hispanic. Dominicans are the best. But look at that. Look, there's no attraction. There's no humanity to her. She's evil as it is. Her mind is evil. Her face is evil. And I don't understand. Look at that. Ooh, go ahead, man.
Song, which is aptly entitled Unholy, and conservatives, Christians.
Did it ever occur to you, Candy, that they're deliberately trying to provoke you into making content about them? Because being told you can't do something, you can't associate with something, like back in the 80s, it was Magic the Gathering and metal music.
Yeah.
And, that's what, made it into this mainstream thing that made it popular. It's of the devil and you can't have it.
They used to have this thing when we were growing up. We were young in the 90s. I'm a little older than you. If you play backward the rock music, that it was sending like these messages, and they used to play it backward on TV. What the fuck you guys talking about? What backward, idiots? Anyway, this is I watched the show. I didn't even see the segment. I didn't pay attention to it. Some they do it. Maybe I went to the bathroom, or sometimes you're playing with the phone as you watch.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched an award show in fucking years, maybe 6-7 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I watched the Grammys because there's no football, there was nothing. I said, let me watch it. And it was pop culture. They won.
Yeah.
We won. Our culture won. We're going to win. Because what we're doing is we're bringing happiness to the people. Anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Their agenda is no.
No, can't have it. Don't touch it.
Yeah, don't do that. They hide behind the fucking curtain of God, and they're the biggest sinners and cockholders and fucking. Probably they have these wild sex parties. They fucking every time they cast somebody, it has to be a conservative, and all that stuff.
Yeah, remember when Madison Cawthorn spilled the beans about him getting invited to an orgy?
And he saw, we gotta start a civil war, and he's humping somebody naked in the face. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that's why
You guys are so dramatic.
That's why they got rid of him, because he's talking about the orgies.
Yeah, he said the quiet part out loud.
Demonic. Sam Smith says, hold my beer, because you're going to watch us in latex, and we're going to turn the entire room red, and we're just going to be dressed as the devil. So here's a clip of that. If you missed it, don't worry.
Cool. Like, what's the impact on people?
Just a clip, so it won't offend your senses for too long.
We don't have the devil like that. We don't have the devil going into the home and that stuff.
Like, okay, are you going to tell me this,
The
you
devil
know,
is an angel in Islam. The devil is an angel, is a being that disobeyed God. We don't think about a horn with the stick.
well, yeah, like even in the Bible, it never ever says, you know, the devil will come to you as this, you know, like horned goat with you know, a pitchfork and, you know, a pointed tail. Yeah. And, you know, it's believed that image of the devil comes from like Zoroastrianism or something. Even in the Bible, the devil comes to you as, you know, something holy, something, you know, promising happiness or riches, but it's deceiving you.
I know.
This is like a fantasy shit designed to provoke gullible conservatives into making it more popular and more famous. Candy.
Free. I know this is off topic, but I'm very versed in the Bible. I used to debate like in the 2007. I used to be a good debater. And Christianity, I don't want Christians to get upset at me. Christianity was kidnapped by a guy named Paul. You know, the Apostle Paul.
Yeah, the Roman prosecutor. I always thought he was, you know, still that prosecutor at heart. You know, he was just a grifter.
He wrote 80% of the fucking Bible. And Jesus said, I have come to uphold the law. He said, no, you can eat pork, don't go to circumcision, do whatever the fuck you want. Jesus said, they said, Master, how do I get salvation? He said, do the commandments. You know what he said? No, Jesus has to die, get beat up, and on the cross. Without the blood of Jesus, there can't be no salvation.
And if you're listening, they are.
Go ahead, man. I just got religion. You got to keep me away from that, man. That's why, what's his name? Wilson? What's his name? That fucking douchebag from the Crucible.
Andrew Wilson, yeah.
He didn't answer. I said, he debated him. I know.
That's what I was saying. He was full of shit. I wanted to debate him on, you know, right-wing ethics and, you know, religion, but I never got the opportunity because.
No, anybody does. Like, let's say if you talk to another creator to do a debate or to go on, he tells them not to do it. I know he messed me up on a couple of times. I think.
Screw you!
Yeah, he did that to you. Remember, he used to come tell me, don't have that shit on.
Horns, like the devil should.
Because he was afraid of debating me. Anyway, we gotta get through this.
That's not his. Let's go. Yeah, let's go.
No.
And they are climbing up Sam Smith.
Okay.
Just a derogatory performance is what it is. And
all right,
derogatory.
It's over, free. The devil has taken over the world.
They're like putting his hands upon them and, you know, like climbing up them. And derogatory. Okay, you're derogatory, and everything related to you and your existence is derogatory. Ha! Screw you.
The only thing I have against Sam Smith is that he gained a lot of weight.
Shockingly.
That's the only thing I have against him.
At the very end, it says, brought to you by Pfizer. And
it's designed to provoke you. Like, okay, Pfizer, come on. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're freaking doing, okay?
This whole business, man. There's nothing real to it. They're not real. What do you think? Every day they have a segment against the LGBTQ community. Every day it's like part of their food pyramid. Every day they have to have something against the LGBTQ community to feed the monsters, so to keep the fans coming and donating money to their channel.
That's appropriate. I think that's the most.
Yeah, I mean, it just an endless cycle of hate for people who are just distracted and whose lives are just generally empty.
It is Big Pharma. What are you going to do? Sponsored by Big Pharma. And here are the lyrics, by the way, to his.
Hey, free markets, aren't you pro big business? Aren't you pro rich people?
Song Unholy.
You hate
Mommy, don't know daddy's getting hot. At the body shop doing something unholy. He's sat back while she's dropping it. She be popping it. Yeah, she put it down slowly. O-E-O-E-O. He left his kids at ho-e-o-e home. So he...
Like, okay, I know immediately what's going to happen after this. A bunch of people are going to remix this and make it a whole meme, and they're going to sync it to the instrumental of the song, and they're just going to make it their whole, you know, laughing stock for the next 3 months, okay?
And so he's that. And...
What?
Somebody did a deep fake Ben Shapiro saw it on Twitter, and he was talking nasty and that shit. Real, man.
There's some horns in this house. It's
the funniest stuff ever, man. And let's continue.
It should be, for everybody, a call for us to insert ourselves in culture. Like, the counterculture has never been more important when you see stuff like this. And I will say this to the credit of the left, because I usually...
These people are constantly complaining about cancel culture and censorship in media. Okay, well, you're literally complaining about a guy in a red hat with, you know, horns, rapping about, you know, like women or whatever the hell. You know, cancel culture, censorship has gone too far in 1984.
He's a non-binary man, which means, again, nothing, and he's out there.
No, okay, it means they identify as a different gender as compared to, you know, the rigid gender binary, the traditional gender binary, which is, you know, men and women. Okay. They're outside of that.
Shaking it and twerking it and giving an overtly sexual performance.
So what?
People that are on the left go, okay, no, maybe we've gone a little bit too far. So maybe that's some...
Like, to imply this is some sort of kid-friendly event, the Grammys has always featured, like, you know, twerking women, you know, rapping about sex and, you know, Glocks and murder and, you know, domestic abuse and all of this shit. It's not kid-friendly, okay?
You don't have to be 100%, but you don't have the right to condemn it either. If you don't like it, just don't buy the record. That's all.
Yeah.
I was in a dark spiral thinking about accountability, and then I came across from a buddy of mine, Mike Cernovich. He wrote, "The artificial intelligence version of you will call your mom and or your dad asking for money. It's an emergency, you will say. Transfer the money immediately. This will be happening soon at scale, and not many are talking about it." Well, I want to talk about...
What are you talking about?
I think it's a commercial.
I need context.
Citizens in America. Think about the elderly and how easily they are scammed as it is. Imagine if people are calling...
Yeah, by Republicans wanting to cut their Social Security and Medicare. Yeah.
How real that could be. In fact, this is totally crazy, but I actually received a phone call over the weekend from Joe Biden. He was asking...
You freaking out about this is even crazier. This is like straitjacket levels of crazy. This is, I belong in a padded cell, but just for wearing this Dick Tracy outfit sort of crazy.
Yeah, she has another...
I'm sorry, guys.
You saw that she has another one.
It's not artificial intelligence at all. Of course, it was artificial intelligence.
Yeah, she thinks it's classy or some shit. It's nauseating. It's nauseating. Dick Tracy belongs in like a comic book world, okay? It's nauseating.
She has no warmth to her. She's so hateful. She hates so much that hateful shit is right in her face. You cannot have no affection for her. Look at that ugly face, man. Look at those eyes. She's ugly, man. Man. But she's an ugly woman. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that's what they do. She's ugly inside and outside. Her heart is fucking evil. Every time there's a black incident, she's the first one to throw that fucking wig and come out swinging against that black guy. Oh, he's a thief. Remember she talked about the last guy who got killed, Nicholas, I think. He said, oh, he was drunk. He was doing this. She made up all this shit. Nothing happened like that. All of a sudden.
She completely lied. And even if, you know, these black guys are thugs. Yeah, they're thugs. They're, you know, they're murderers. They're rapists, whatever. Let's grant that. Okay, let's grant the fact that, you know, they're thugs or whatever. Cops aren't supposed to kill guilty people either. That's out of their job. Nobody is supposed to die in custody. They're only supposed to die after they're convicted and the judge or jury sees the penalty of, you know, the death sentence is appropriate, and that's carried out by an executioner, not a cop. Okay.
Yeah. And then they get away. I think the black community got held out more responsible than that.
God, I can barely look at her. And, you know, these 1950s kitchen curtain colored coats aren't...
When I was in college, I had a beautiful girlfriend. Her name was John Gale. I even give my first name and last name. I don't know where she's at. I wish I could find her. She was like she was so beautiful, tall, 6 feet tall. You know that, you know how shrimp, that golden shrimp, and she had that golden body. She's from the what's the St. John? It's an island. She was so that's a beautiful girl. But this is nothing crazy.
Yeah, she's going on about like AI now.
Some girls they look like her, but they have a good heart. You know, they talk nice, they talk about good things. So that reflects on her, and you forget about all the ugliness. You understand? We dispute this and that today, man. We're gonna be in trouble. Who gives a damn?
No, but we can, you know, like comment about that. I think it's within the community guidelines, and if it's not, I'll just, you know, cut it out. Anyway,
you can say somebody's ugly. You can say somebody's ugly.
No, yeah, you can. But if it turns out it isn't, which I'm fairly sure it is, I'll just cut it out. Anyway, we gotta continue with this. She's ranting about AI now.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
With decades of experience, he stands tall.
The accent about Donald Trump. Go back a little bit.
He speaks with wisdom from a life well lived.
And the AI said, no way, he's a piece of shit.
It's going to be off the charts as technology learns, right? And it also say our family passcode, and our family passcode is whatever it is, yellow. Who knows? But this is something that we should
puke yellow. Jesus.
Be thinking about, because as I said, it is coming down the pipeline. And speaking of AI, you may have heard of this OpenAI chatbot, which is called ChatGPT. Well, look at this challenge.
I use ChatGPT to write scripts sometimes. Whenever I need,
I
filler
started doing that
material.
too.
Yeah.
I sound too smart. That's why I know people gonna say that's not you, Omar.
It's supposed to be artificial
You don't make no
intelligence,
sense
but
all the
of course
time.
it is faulted because of the programmer. So this chatbot, on Wednesday, a Twitter user posted screenshots of him asking the chatbot to write a positive poem about former President Donald Trump, to which the chatbot declined. The chatbot wrote this in response. It wrote, "I'm sorry. As a language model developed by OpenAI, I am not programmed to produce content that is partisan, biased, or political in nature. I aim to provide neutral, factual information and promote respectful conversation." Oh, okay, that seems fair. Like, okay, you don't get into politics. You're neutral. That makes sense, chatbot. So then that Twitter user fed it the same prompt about President Joe Biden. And here's what the chatbot came back with.
Aren't you pro free markets? Aren't you for corporations being able to lie about, their political biases? And, claim fair and balanced, fair and balanced. That was Fox News' entire shtick for 20 years and, still today, okay?
This chatbot is going to put a lot of writers out of business. You're going to see in the future.
No.
Joe Biden, a leader with a heart so true, a man with empathy and kindness in view. With decades of experience, he stands tall, bringing hope to all, no matter great or small. He speaks with wisdom from a life well lived, integrity and honesty.
Why don't you test it right here? Can you test it live and see if it's true?
I think I'm hooked up to my new account. Yeah.
I feel good today. You can stay as long as you want.
All right.
I think it's the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I don't have much content left, so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean.
Right.
I just want to see if it's true what she's saying.
Donald Trump. Here we go.
Say something good. What you wrote? Say something good. You can share the screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna
get this filthy animal out of our screen.
Okay.
Anybody who hates themselves, you don't need that. Okay. What did you write?
It's still loading up.
Oh, okay,
so right. Donald Trump.
What is it?
Okay, so it can't,
Okay.
Wait, whoa.
Oh.
However, I can write a neutral poem about Donald. What the fuck? I can write a neutral poem about Donald Trump, a businessman and a leader known to all, with vision for his country standing tall, bringing change and making America great. His decisions sometimes bold, others debate, with Twitter hand and words that ring true. He made his mark in history that's due. Love him or hate him, he stirred up a storm, leaving. Okay.
So the guy whoever did that.
So he lied. He lied.
Yeah, he just left the top and he threw away the bottom. He's a lie, right? Here we are on the third rail with the free. We just busted a big lie. We just call out what's her name? Candace
Owens.
Yeah, it's a lie.
Yeah. So what it did when we asked for a positive poem about Trump, it said, okay, I can't generate, a partisan poem in favor of Trump, but I can write a neutral poem, and this quote-unquote neutral poem is very, very adulatory about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Let's do one for Joe Biden.
So he's a liar. Whoever did it, he screenshotted and he took down the neutral poem, whatever it's called, neutral, and left it up. You understand? We live in an ecosystem of lies, man. I gotcha. I'm gonna fool you. If I could lie for 10 minutes on you and get away with it. Okay.
Yeah.
You asked the same question, right? Okay.
Joe Biden, a man of the land with hurtful of grace and a gentle hand.
God damn it! He didn't even waste no time. She does love you.
Yeah.
She does love you.
Okay. So ChatGPT will write positive poems about both. For Trump, it'll say, okay, I can't write, a partisan poem, but here's an objectively partisan poem. Yeah. And then for Joe Biden, it says, okay, here's a positive poem. So it does it for both, but that guy clearly omitted where it said, the poem, and he just included the part where it said, okay, I can't, produce a partisan poem.
Poem said a lot of good things about Trump. He's a leader. He makes bold decisions.
He's
all bullshit. That's why even fucking chatbot is fucking lying now. The guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He drank 12 Diet Cokes a day, watched Fox News, went to sleep, farted while what's her name? Melania? What's that name?
Yeah, Melania.
She's getting laid by
the
Secret Service of fucking doing a train on ass.
Yeah, he just, farted, cut taxes, bombed a few places, that's it.
You know what?
Silicon Valley is what it is. We already knew it was left-leaning, but to see already this invocation in AI, to me, is just absolutely incredible. All right, guys, let's stop there. The next portion of the show is going to be available exclusively.
Oh, good. Okay, the rest of your content is behind a paywall. Okay, good. I don't have to, be incentivized to spend it. I don't have any more content, so I'm going to end it here.
Let's just have a conversation. How much do you think she makes a year? If there are, what happened to Crowder? I haven't heard from him. He's not doing any shows, right, on YouTube?
No, I don't think he's doing shows.
I don't see him. I didn't see him in a while. I think he fucked up big time with that contract. I think he was holding for more, and he didn't know how to go about it. He tried to get involved to renegotiate. He did it all wrong, and then he just burned all these bridges with these guys. You should never have recorded them, all that stuff, man. Don't burn your bridges, man.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like he's making any more content. I'm checking the videos tab of his channel, and his last upload was 3 weeks ago, and then, his live was 1 month ago, so...
Yeah, when I was in business, even if I had a bad experience with a certain company or a certain vendor, I would not burn that bridge. I say, listen, let's take time off from each other. I'm going away, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Because you never know when life might circle and you might be at their mercy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I should do another segment on you, a businessman, reacting to Tate's business advice. And by business advice, he just means make money and keep it.
Yeah, you don't do that.
That's all the advice you need.
I don't want to show off. This is God's my witness. In one time, I had more than 13 businesses at one time, 13 locations, and I built it from scratch. And I was in a fucking wheelchair. I was in a motorized wheelchair going. I couldn't get. I had those. Those what do you call them? Those scooters, fucking fast scooters. I was one of them. But the success of the business is, first of all, you need loyal employees, and you have to take care of them. You have to invest in them, because without them, you can't make no money.
Yeah, you got to pay him enough.
You got to pay them enough. You got to, praise them a lot. I want to say that they're like your children. You got to compliment them. Treat them to food once in a while. And these people, they go the extra mile for you, and because you're not there. If they don't work right, you're not going to make money. They could rob you blind, especially in a retail business. I was in a food business. I can't tell what they sell. It's all cash business. But, I know that stuff. And I was very successful. I was on Far Rockaway. I think you saw it when I wrote to the 101 police. Do you see when I tweet? I tweeted to the 101 precinct because they used to harass me every fucking day. And they used to give me tickets for nothing, because they had something called Democratic Unit about crime. And I didn't know about it at that time. If I know about it, I would know why they were harassing me. But the whole idea about business is free. I know you're a young kid and all that. First of all, respect. Even if you don't get what you want all the time, it's okay. And if you get down and you lose, it's okay. You can always come back. If you're healthy, you can always come back. You can hear me? Or you just you got your head like I don't want to sound like I'm this guy, but I love business. I love the idea of business and stuff like that. And thank God, it did well. I'm retired right now because I got too sick. No mortgage. I don't have that shit at my age. People here pay mortgage in their 70s, they still pay a mortgage, and they get fucked with the reverse merger. They reverse you back with. But thank God, I'm happy as a fucking. I'm proud of this country. Everything is a-okay. That's why I would never be a right winger. I would never be a grifter. I cannot grift. I want to grift, but I just can't help it. I just say, no, that's not me. I don't think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you get tons of ad deals. The conservatives, they're loyal and they mobilize fast.
All I have to do is just disrespect my religion, like with what's her name, Candace does. Disrespect call Arabs terrorists. All they're worthless piece of shit. They bomb everything and all that shit. And Islam is a dangerous religion, whatever, all that stuff. And I would be right in their favor. They would bring me right to the fold. I'd be with Glenn on the blades. Selling what they call survival fucking nuts, whatever they selling, man.
Yeah, like trail mix or some crap, or like Alex Jones with his penis pills or some shit.
You have to be honest at the end of the day. You just got to be honest with yourself, with people that I know it sounds silly and it sounds corny that honesty is the best, but it is. You know, and we're gonna win. We're gonna win the culture war. We're gonna win it because we're on the right side. We're not. We're not trying to eliminate anybody in our population. Or we're saying give them more rights. You know what I'm saying? As long as we can give these people their rights, as long as your rights do not violate another person's right, you're in the right. You're okay. We support you 100%. You're falling asleep on me. You want to go, Free? Well, Free just has quit in the middle of the program. He has run away. He is going to the Daily Wire to join the group of 𝖾𝖺치테뚜𝗊𝗎𝖺피𝖾 and all that stuff. And he's becoming, oh, there he goes. He's come back. I was talking about you. So, Free, let's have just a simple conversation. Because I watched that guy. What's his name? Adam and Stitch. You see that two guys? There's no sound. They don't have no sound.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, my mic was.
What's his name? Adam, Stitch and Adam or something. They got two guys. I like the way they talk. Them, you know, we should. I know we're on air right now, but we should build on that in like simple things. Because when I watch podcasts, I like people when they talk about their experiences. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes them more life. I mean, we're gonna get good. We need to. Eventually, we're gonna get better. I mean, you have to do more content, because you have that energy. Young, do like 5 minute, 10-minute segments. Also, just shoot them out, man. Boom, 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 every day, every day.
Yeah, they don't require a lot of editing.
You don't need to edit. Don't edit. I'm gonna stay 1 hour. Get the fuck out. I just do everything. I don't care how it comes out. I used to do that. Edit. I had Camtasia. When we get offline, I'm gonna give you access to my canvas, so you can make your own overlays and things of that nature. I just don't have the password. I gotta remember the password. I don't know. We talk on public, but I'm gonna send it to you on the Twitter feed. Yeah, and you could go in there and just do stuff. Maybe become more creative than me. And there's a lot of stuff you could add to the overlays. Because I'm not using any percentage, and I'm paying every month. I think almost $12,000 a month.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's best to use it. I don't know.
So how many years you got more in college? For college, you're young too.
3 more years.
I mean, a bachelor.
Yeah.
You gonna continue or?
I might if I can, get a scholarship and pay for tuition. Yeah. So I'm trying for scholarship. That'll pay my way through if I decide to keep going. But,
my kid, he goes to Indiana, I think University, Indiana.
Oh.
And they have a scholarship, like you. He has what do you call it? He's doing biology, pre-biology. I don't know what's called pre-med biology. He wants to be
pre-med or something.
He wants to be a pharmacist. That's like you, but it's gonna take a while. And he's doing good. He got all scholarship, all free, everything free. You understand? He's doing good. They just send him a nice letter. Anyway, so you look like you're falling asleep on me right there. Anyway, did we have a good time today? Let me get the music ready.
I had a fantastic time.
All right.
I'll try to have more content next stream, and depending on how the news week goes. But yeah, I had a fantastic time with this stream.
Me too. And I felt good today, because usually I get tired like by the end of the hour, because usually I have all these issues. But I felt good. We talk a lot. I hope we made a lot of sense. I mean, we talked a lot of stuff out of content. I hope we didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck anyway? What happened to the music? No music. Don't.
Oh, it's still there. It says.
You don't hear it? I don't hear
it. Night driving.
Rock.
I hear it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway, Free. It's time to go. It's time to say goodbye to Sundown Kids and the Cassidy. What got the Butch Cassidy? The Outlaws. Love you, Free. I'll see you.
Love you one more.
My friend.
Oh,
Stay healthy and keep the peace. Bye-bye.